Ever wonder what happens when a neighborhood busybody with a clipboard and a vendetta gets caught in the crosshairs of a federal sting? Let me tell you about Lisa Hargrove, the HOA president who turned our quiet suburban street into her personal fiefdom until she messed with the wrong neighbor, a Secret Service agent levying right next door. This is the story of how Lisa's obsession with power led to handcuffs, a courtroom meltdown, and a scandal that rocked Willow Creek to its core. 3 months ago, I moved into Willow Creek, a postcard-perfect neighborhood with flawless lawns and rules for everything down to the exact shade of your mailbox. I'm a software developer, work-from-home type, and I figured the place would be peaceful, ideal for focusing on code and chilling with my coffee. Boy, was I wrong. The day after I unpacked, Lisa Hargrove knocked on my door, all prim and polished with her sleek brunette bob, pricey sunglasses perched like a crown, and a smile that screamed trouble. She handed me a welcome packet, a 50-page rulebook thicker than my college textbooks. "We're thrilled to have you in Willow Creek," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness that made my skin crawl. "We all follow the rules here to keep our property values high. You get that, right?" I nodded, took the binder, and thought that'd be the last of her. Spoiler, it wasn't. Within a week, I was drowning in courtesy notices from the HOA. My trash can lingered too long on the curb post pickup. My front door's navy paint wasn't on the approved palette. And apparently, I'd committed the cardinal sin of HOA-ing 3 cars in my driveway when my cousins helped me move. Lisa's favorite obsession, though, was parking. Willow Creek had strict street parking rules. Every household got 2 overnight permits, and extras required HOA board approval, which meant Lisa's approval. She wielded those permits like a dictator rationing bread. My neighbor, DVYD Kim, seemed like a chill guy. We'd swap small talk by the mailboxes or while mowing our lawns. One evening, as I fumbled with groceries and my parking permit, DVYD caught my frustration. "Lisa's drunk on power with those permits," he said with a half smile. "She's been like this since she took over last year. Lose one, and she'll bleed you dry with fees and paperwork." I chuckled, thinking he was exaggerating. He wasn't. The trouble really kicked off when I hosted a low-key housewarming. I warned my friends about the VY cider parking lot, but it filled up fast. The last 2 parked in front of my house with my permits, just for a bit. Barely 30 minutes later, Lisa was at my door, face red with what I can only call righteous fury. "There are unauthorized vehicles on our street," she snapped, pointing at my friend's gray sedan and a blue SUV. I explained I'd lent them my permits temporarily, but Lisa wasn't hearing it. "Permits stay with assigned vehicles. Section 12, Paragraph 4 of the bylaws. You're getting a fine." After my friends left, I saw her prowling the street, snapping photos of license plates and scribbling in a notebook like a detective in a bad cop show. Overkill for a parking spat, but I brushed it off. Big mistake. The next week, a letter from the HOA landed in my mailbox, accusing me of multiple parking violations and threatening to revoke my parking rights. This was nonsense. I'd been obsessive about following rules since the housewarming. I called the HOA office, and the assistant, who sounded like she was whispering from a bunker, told me to pay the fines and keep your head down. No way. I decided to confront Lisa at the next HOA meeting. The meeting was in the community clubhouse, which Lisa had turned into her personal throne room. Flowers spaced like soldiers, chairs in perfect rows, and a cushioned seat at the head that screamed, "Queen." When I brought up the fines, Lisa peered over her glasses with a smirk that could curdle milk. "Mr. Carter, we have photos of vehicles registered to you parked without permits multiple times," she said, her tone final. "The board's reviewed it. The fines stand. Next agenda item." I was floored. I hadn't parked without a permit once. Something was rotten. As I left, DVYD caught me in the parking lot. "Don't take it personal," he said quietly. "Lisa goes after anyone who challenges her. Last month, it was the Garcias for wanting solar panels. Before that, the Thompsons for unapproved tulips. Things got weirder from there. Violation notices kept coming for cars I didn't own, parked in spots I'd never been. The fines piled up, and my appeals went nowhere. Then, one night while taking out the trash, I saw something bizarre, a car with what looked like my parking permit in the windshield. Except it wasn't my car. I crept closer. The permit was nearly identical, same font, same logo, but the serial number was off by a digit. Someone was forging my permit. Before I could process it, a flashlight beam hit me. Find something? It was the VYD, but his voice had an edge I'd never heard. I showed him the fake permit, and his face hardened. Come to my place. We need to talk. Inside, the VYD dropped a bombshell. He flashed a badge and introduced himself as Special Agent VYD Kim, United States Secret Service. I blinked, thinking Secret Service was just bodyguards for presidents. Nope. The VYD explained they also hunt financial crimes, like counterfeiting. I moved here 6 months ago for an investigation into a counterfeiting ring, he said. We had leads pointing to this area, but I didn't expect parking permits. This changes things. He asked if I'd help his investigation. I was all in. The plan? I'd keep logging the bogus violations while the VYD dug into the permits. We suspected Lisa was forging permits to frame residents she disliked, then pocketing the fines. For 2 weeks, I documented everything. I set up a discreet security camera and caught Lisa herself slapping a fake permit on a VY Sider's car at midnight, then snapping photos at dawn to cite it. The VYD, meanwhile, found the HOA's fine collections had spiked 300 fan trams since Lisa's reign, with most of the cash vanishing from the budget. The knockout punch came when the VYD got a search warrant for Lisa's home office. The Secret Service found a counterfeiting jackpot, equipment for fake permits, plus forged concert tickets, gift cards, and even amateur attempts at fake cash. The parking permits were just her warm-up act. The day they arrested Lisa was pure chaos. I was coding when I heard sirens. Peeking out, I saw unmarked cars swarm her house, agents in Secret Service, windbreakers storming her door. Lisa stepped out in a bathrobe, screeching about her rights until she saw the badges. Her face went from rage to ghost white as they cuffed her. The neighborhood buzzed like a kick beehive. By nightfall, everyone knew Lisa had been nabbed for counterfeiting, fraud, and embezzling overdue $100,000 in HOA fines. At her arraignment, I sat in the courtroom's back row, watching the prosecutor lay out charges that could land her 15 years in prison and do $250,000 in penalties. When the judge denied bail, Lisa's perfect poise shattered. Her face paled, her knees buckled, and her lawyer had to prop her up. I was just protecting property values, she whimpered, barely audible. The courtroom went dead silent, and I swear you could hear her world collapsing. Willow Creek's still reeling. Lisa's gone, but the HOA's a mess, and we're all wondering who else she dragged into her schemes. One thing's for sure, next time someone hands me a rulebook, I'm checking their serial numbers twice.